I think there's elements of the industry that are actually doing it right now. I think the key issue is that competition is driving significant investment in networks at the moment, which is a great thing. I think you've seen tremendous steps forward in broadband take-up, speed of broadband, but there still is an element of twin track going on there between the cities and rural areas. So, we do have a divide at this point that needs to be fixed, eradicated over time, to ensure we have equity across the whole country and across the whole population. So a vision around how we achieve that and how we go about it is required, in my opinion. Well, I mean, it's certainly a challenging time and a challenging climate. I think when you look at the comms sector in general, and there's lots of data out there in the Comreg report, I think revenues have declined since the peak of economic activity by 20%. And that's fundamentally across 4 or 5 major organisations. So it's a significant hit to the organisations and how they manage their businesses. But fundamentally, I'm a great believer that competition drives investment and drives the right behaviours in the market. And I think we've seen significant investment made by companies like BT and others to improve network infrastructure. And I think the question really is around how the efficiency that those organisations can create in their own organisations and their own networks to ensure that they access the capital to drive the next stage. And my view very firmly is that the private sector should be driving the bulk of that investment, and competition should drive that. I think you'll always have areas and regions where that's not possible. And I think then that we're looking for government support to do that. I think the National Broadband Schemes is the start of that and a good example of that, and that's been rolled out effectively and efficiently and on time. And I think that will really help rural areas. But there's likely that we're going to need a second stage to that, and to ensure that equity exists across the whole country. In urban areas, I'm absolutely convinced the private sector can deal with it, and in many cases has already done that. And I think there's significant bandwidth available around urban locations at the moment. Realistically, the business case doesn't exist to put fibre to every home in the country. But I think there are certainly things that could be also driven by the private sector where we can drive fibre deeper into rural areas and to mass sites of the mobile operators to provide much higher bandwidth that will tie into the bandwidth hungry consumers and businesses that are out there. And to a certain extent, I think that can solve a lot of the problems, because what's happening now is mobile networks are becoming more fixed by their nature. They're becoming more fibre rich to satisfy the demand that's actually out there now. And I think, to me, that's the patchwork that needs to take place, which is driving fibre deeper into the existing mobile networks and using the last mile, from a mobile point of view in rural areas to provide the level of broadband that the country needs. I think we've established the framework and commenced the investment to create that fabric as such, both north and south. And we are investing as we speak to drive the fibre deeper, which facilitates Ethernet products and services. And we're working with a number of the mobile operators to, facilitate that investment and to ensure that it happens quickly, which is really the key, because when you stand back and look at this at a top level, the demand is clearly there. Consumers and businesses are asking for it, and I think the onus is on our sector to ensure that we deliver it quickly. And I think the link into government is really down to me the remaining element that's just not going to be economic in the private sector, and we have to work together to find that solution. But I think we have to realise that the private sector can deliver significantly more than sometimes is in the public domain and realised, and it's actually happening right now, and the investment in the networks are taking place right now.